If you know, on Yom Kippur, one of the things that we do is we take Se'irizim, this goat, and they split it, they take one to La Hashem, one La Azazel, they send one, right? This is the Se'irizim that they killed when they sold Yosef, and they told their father, this is the blood of your son. It was happening in Yom Kippur. And because if it was happening in Yom Kippur, since then, that day is Day of Atonement. This day is Day of Kapara. There was a big damage happening between the brothers. They sold the brothers. They didn't care about what's going to happen to him. And because of that, this is the day that became Yom Kippur forever. Every year we fast because of this. Because it's very important. It says, Yom Kippur have atonement for all the sins except mitzvot she'ben adam lechavaro. These are the things that you have to go and ask for forgiveness. You have to appease your fellow brother, sister, Jew, whatever, because it won't work automatically. One Jewish person, was chosen to be the Man of the Year in one of the big universities in the United States. So they saw something interesting in that university. They saw usually very, very successful people. They, not everybody likes them. People feel jealous of them, and it's not so easy. But here they see that his employees, they don't care even to work for him in half of the price. They just like very much their boss. And that was extraordinary, because how come he succeeds in this area when he's also so kind to the employees? This is something that they wanted to interview him and ask him, what exactly is his success? What was his answer when he was interviewed? He said something interesting. He said, we took once a trip to Israel. And so this guy, we took a tour, and it shows us all over Israel. One of the places that we came to see was the Yeshiva of Mir in Jerusalem. Yeshiva of Mir is a very busy yeshiva. There's 3,000 guys learning in one place. Can you imagine the noise of so many people are learning? It's amazing. And after seeing that, they were very impressed. They come to the Rosh Yeshiva, Nathan Tzvi Finkel. He passed away. So he was a very sick man. He was very, very sick. He hardly sat, hardly talked, hardly was able to move. And so they talked to him, they asked him some questions, and then the rabbi is asking them a question. The rabbi is asking them what message exactly they got from the Holocaust that happened around 60, 70 years ago. So he, as a Jew, he told the rabbi, well, I learned that if you become stronger, the Nazis or Germans or some other people won't be able to control over you, because you become stronger. We shouldn't be so like those people in the Gentile, in the exile, that whatever the Nazis tell them, they say yes. Like sheep, they go to die, and then we should be strong, and then such a thing won't happen to us. The rabbi said, excuse me, I don't think so, because people who lived at that time, in the beginning of the war, in Germany, in Europe, also felt that way. They were also strong. They were very much educated. They learned in the universities. They were professors. They were doctors. They were this or that. And still this thing happened. They also thought, it won't happen to us. And it did. So I don't think it's true, he says. So this Jewish guy is asking the rabbi, so what is the message that you learned from the Holocaust? The rabbi said something interesting. He said, in the Holocaust, what the Germans were trying to do is to break our spirit. What did they do? They made very, very respected rabbis. They gave them humiliating works, like they were supposed to sweep the floors of the road with their beard. This is how they humiliated them. They gave them all kind of humiliating jobs. They were walking with such clothing with holes and not a very respected way. What did they want to do? It always bothered the Germans or the Nazis that the Jewish people feel very superior about themselves. They wanted to be superior. They are the Ari nation. They are supposed to be the most. And the fact that Jewish people were superior bothered them, so they wanted to humiliate. They wanted us to be, instead of spiritual people, they wanted us to be like animals. What happens to animal when you don't give food to the animal? What do? So animals, they grab, they take, they will fight for food. That's what they wanted to happen to us in the Holocaust. But we Jewish people, we didn't lose our Tselem Elokim, our image of God. We didn't want to lose it. It's the easiest thing to lose Tselem Elokim. There's a famous fable. There was this scorpion that comes to the frog and tells him, please, I want to go on your back and let's cross together the river. The frog was afraid. He said, if I'll take you on my back, would you bite me? He says, no, I won't bite you. So it helped him out. He carried him all the way to the other side, and as they're about to go down, it did bite him. He says, hey, but you said you're not going to do it. He says, well, what can I do? That's my personality. That's my nature. I can't. I must. This is animals. Jewish people, they have to work on their qualities not to be like that. So we, in the Holocaust, were trying to keep this image of Hashem, Tzelem Elokim, not to become like animals. So if somebody got some food, he went and he shared it with his brother. When somebody, with some other person, with his neighbor that was next to him. When somebody needed some help, some courage, to encourage somebody to, we were there for one another. And this is what Hashem wants from us. This is the message that I learned from the Holocaust, it says. So he got so impressed, this Jewish person. He came back to his to the States and he said, I'm going to establish, I'm going to be much better now, because every person that is very successful is very arrogant. He thinks only high about himself, only what he is going to gain from this, nobody else. He doesn't care about people. He says, no, I want to learn from this rabbi and think about the other people also. So as somebody comes to work, he greets them, and how are you, and how can I make you feel better today? And he makes his employees feel so good about themselves. He helps them out whenever he can. He comes out of his box to think about the other. I want to make other people happy. When he makes other people happy, he feels happy himself. And this is how he became the man of the year in this university. Okay, this is what he says. It's very, very beautiful to look at this in this way. I saw this thing, very nice thing, about a lesson that we have to learn from the goose. Maybe you heard about this. It's called the goose story. When you see geese flying along in a V formation, you might consider what science has discovered as to why they fly that way. As each bird flaps its wings, it creates an uplift for the bird immediately following by. Flying in a V formation, the whole flock adds at least 71% greater flying range than if each bird flew on its own. See how much strength it gives them. People who share a common direction and sense of community can get where they are going more quickly and easily because they are traveling on the thrust of one another. When a goose falls out of formation, it suddenly feels the drag and resistance of trying to go it alone, and quickly gets back into formation to take advantage of the lifting power of the bird in front. If we have as much sense as a goose, we will stay in formation with those people who are headed the same way we are. Okay? When the head goose gets tired, it rotates back in the wing and another goose flies point. It is sensible to take turns doing demanding jobs, whether with people or with geese flying south. Geese honk from behind to encourage those up front to keep up their speed. What messages do we give when we honk from behind? Finally, and this is important, when a goose gets sick or it's wounded by gunshot and falls out of formation, 2 other geese falls out with that goose and follow it down to lend help and protection. They stay with the fallen goose until it is able to fly or until it dies, and only then they launch out on their own or with another formation to catch up with their group. If we have the sense of the goose, we will stand by each other like that. How important it is it's called teamwork, to feel one another, to be with one another, and this is what Yosef is teaching us, and this is what this parasha is teaching us. Kol Israel aravim ze leze, we are for one another. Don't ignore. You see your friend painful, you see that he needs help, you see that he's falling, help out. It's not so much from you needed to give a hand to that person. Bezat Hashem, we said that there's a famous story, and I won't say, of 2 brothers, right? Just very fast. 2 brothers were caring so much for one another. In the middle of the night, one comes and he ends up for the bundle of the other one, and then the other one gets up and he says, oh, my brother doesn't have family, maybe I should help him. And this one says, oh, he has so many kids, maybe I should help him. This is where we know that the Holy Temple was built. That's what Hashem wants from us, unity, caring for one another. Bezat Hashem, we should work on it, and Mashiach will come. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabbi.
Toda raba. God bless you.